Yes, Valley Club, it is official. The new out-of-time war team will feature Black Knight, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and one more character, as well as reworks to Captain America and Captain Carter. But how useful will this team be outside of war? Have the devs finally figured out a way to bring Galactus to the game? And what other news was dropped in MrHartgrave's dev interview? We're discussing all of these things in this video, as well as a huge loss for the Marvel Strike Force community. So if you're ready for all of that and more, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin and I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great Saturday. And yes, we are doing a Saturday video. And that is because MrHartgrave had a dev interview yesterday, dropped a bombshell video, had an interview with Matt Sheets, and he is the director of characters and combat over at Marvel Strike Force, which means he's kind of in charge of who comes to the game, which characters are coming to the game, how they're chosen. And he's also in charge of the kits of these characters. And he dropped a lot of news in MrHartgrave's video yesterday. I highly suggest you check it out. The link is gonna be down below, but we are gonna be discussing some of the things in this video, like the reworks, like Cosmic Ghost Rider, and the value of this out-of-time team, as well as Galactus. But if this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's a lot more, like gameplay videos, we have news videos, question and answer videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, let's go right into a clip from the interview yesterday about Matt discussing how this out-of-time team was chosen.
All these characters on this team are out of their own timeline into, the Nexus timeline.
So I think that's interesting. All of them are out of time. And if we look at this silhouette from a couple days ago, we see Black Knight in this silhouette portion right here. We had that reveal yesterday in the social media post. We also see that Ghost Rider, Cosmic Ghost Rider, is right here as well, which means that this is another character that's out of his time. We have someone from the medieval periods. We have someone from the World War II period in Captain America and Peggy Carter. Cosmic Ghost Rider looks like he's from some cosmic alternative outlines. So with that in mind, let me know your guesses for this next character, this 5th character, this out-of-time team being a war team, Black Knight being a part of this team, and reworks to Peggy Carter, Captain America. That means all the final pieces of all the information that the Envoys learned at the Envoy Summit is now public, and everything else that's out there is new, like Cosmic Ghost Rider being a part of this team. Now, Captain America, Peggy Carter, I think that is great being a part of this team because that means they're getting some added value and they're getting some life after the death of this Rebirth team. Now, Rebirth team, they were the incursion raid solution for the bio section for a while. They're being replaced by Hive Mind. They sort of can do the incursion raids right now with the 4-piece and super-skrull. They can get to the boss, the first 2 nodes. And if a few people team up with the boss node, they can kind of get through the boss node, but they're dying. Hive Mind team is the team right now that could one-shot all of these nodes. And that gives me a little, that's kind of a double-edged sword. It is good that these characters are getting a little more value, and that is mentioned by Matt in the video. And that is one of the reasons that these characters were selected, to give them added value. Matt mentions that in the video. But as mentioned here for this Diamonds Beyond the Stars, when Diamonds was introduced, as far as this character availability, they say most character shards will be available 4 months after their initial release. 7 yellow stars, 6 months through normal gameplay for all players. But they also say our goal is to ensure new characters are useful and relevant to the metagame for at least a year. And I hope this just means like their raid life and this added value of Rebirth being a war defense team, and then Captain America, Peggy Carter going to more war defense. I hope this is added value and this is not included in this year.
They're definitely going to be one of the most powerful war teams. They are going to be a team that can beat Nowhere.
Yeah, and you saw MrHartgrave's reaction right there. He said a war team. We had, yeah, they are a double-edged sword. We have teams like Nowhere. We have teams like Gamma that were supposed to be war offense, but a lot of alliances are using on war defense, and that becomes a big problem. And as Matt Sheets mentioned, a lot of times the high-level alliances or alliances that are a lot more engaged in war, that take war a lot more seriously, they will place these high-level teams on war defense, and that becomes a problem for more casual alliances like mine that, save some of these teams for offense. For example, New Avengers, I'm using that team on war offense, countering a New Avengers that I see on war defense. So For me, I'm probably going to use this team on war offense, but I know a lot of people are going to use this on war defense, especially people that are a little more engaged into war than I am. So let me know in the comments what you're thinking of doing with this out-of-time team. Placing them on defense, making it more challenging for your opponents, or saving them for offense and making it easier for you and your lines to get that full clear. But I think some insight into the design of this team helps us moving forward into design of other teams into other metas.
We're trying to fight the speed meta that we keep seeing. And so you keep seeing people with on-spawn speed up or a lot of speed bar. So this team wants you to go first. This team wants you to use all your abilities.
And I think I really enjoy what they're going for here as far as a design perspective. The speed meta has been around for a long time, which is why Emma has survived in the meta for a while, because her passive reduces the speed of the enemies. Kang is going to be in the meta for a while because his passive increases the speed of his allies. Having a team like Out of Time that wants the other team to go first, kind of really reduces the effectiveness of characters like Emma or Kang, or a character like Nick Fury, whose special applies that speed up to the entire team, has him going for the meta for a while. So I think this is interesting. If they also do this with Arena and the raids, making it not as good to have that increased speed and have that high speed characters, I think this could shake the meta for a while. So I'm interested to see where they go with this and see if they extend this not just to war, but other game modes as well. Moving on to more of the kit for Cosmic Ghost Rider. It does some interesting things here.
Cosmic Ghost Rider lowers their damage for any characters that go before their team. And he also doubles speed bar. So then even more so, like, yeah, use all your great abilities. We're going to stay strong, and then we're going to punish you.
Now, he does say that those two abilities, the damage reduction and the speed bar increase, is just tied to war, but I do think that's interesting for what could come to Arena, how they could kind of reduce the speed bar mechanics, the speed bar meta, and kind of bring the speed back down. I think that's very interesting that with what he does with this kit. I'm really curious to see what this also leads to.
One thing that really helps Mal is his passive. Whenever someone uses an ultimate ability, he barriers him and his entire team. So it's very powerful. It does turn off if he gets exhausted.
And once again, exhausted is that newer mechanic that was introduced to war, that was introduced to Cosmic Crucible, mainly because of teams like Heroes for Hire, where if you couldn't beat the team, you would just keep going in and you could put 20 battles in there and wouldn't be able to beat a team. So the exhausted mechanic was brought in to counter things like that. So as you do a subsequent completed battle, the team gets a little weaker. So if you cancel out a battle, the team is not going to get exhausted. But luckily, this particular ability, like I said, is just going to be in war. But some of these other abilities that some of these other characters may have in their kit may have that exhausted mechanic and may be valuable in Cosmic Crucible. So valuable, in fact, that you need them to be exhausted or you won't be able to beat them.
We tried very hard to make all these three characters have a lot of theory crafting, and so there's no real leader on this team. If you look at, like, Cosmic Ghost Rider gives himself max health, so he's not relying on someone else, and that's one of the most important things, stats for theory crafting, is health.
I agree with that. That is very, very important. That makes him useful in Cosmic Crucible. I'm not sure if he's going to be useful in Arena, but yeah, this team is going to have a lot of use, and I like that they're extending theory crafting. That was one of the big complaints from the community back in 2022, when they had a lot of these cookie cutter teams, a lot of these cookie cutter horseman teams to get Apocalypse. They kind of went back on that last year, and they're continuing that this year. So I think this is great that they're considering that in their kit design.
I think people are really going to be theory crafting and being like, oh, I can plug this character in with a Captain America, and maybe bring the other ones with Captain Carter and Crucible, and really theory craft out this team.
And I like that. I like that there's more theory crafting. The devs are taking that in mind. And I like that he mentioned Cosmic Crucible, because honestly, I'm a little more curious in how this Out of Time team is going to perform in Cosmic Crucible rather than War. I'm in a casual War alliance, and I do like Cosmic Crucible, especially with these new Cosmic Crucible Season 6 rules that are starting next week. And it looks like it was dominated by the Superior 6 and Symbiote characters. And he did mention that some characters from the Out of Time team may work well with other characters, mentioned specifically Captain America, Peggy Carter, maybe on different teams here. So let me know what room you think these characters are going to be most effective in, even without knowing all these characters' kits. And last but not least, many players, including myself, have been wondering, is Galactus coming to Marvel Strike Force? I know there's been some problems with the size of Galactus. the hitboxes and the animations for combat. But Hartgrave's asked about Galactus, and let's see Matt Sheet's reaction.
You know, are we teasing Galactus here? I mean, Galactus is very tied to the story of Cosmic Ghost Rider.
So we're going to go back and look at this in slow motion, close up. I want you to see if you can see any micro expressions to see what his true reaction was. Let me know in the comments if you see anything.
Is that?
I think we're only going to handle a couple of teases, so we're not teasing Galactus, but definitely if you saw the last loading screen, there was a face in the back of hidden there. And so you'll probably see more teasings along that line coming forward, but not Galactus, at least right now.
All right, so not Galactus, not right now, maybe in the future. But did he just reveal Professor X from this? He talked about loading screens, a face in the background, doing more of these type of reactions. A lot of people saw Professor X right here. Did he just confirm Professor X? And what else are we going to see in these loading screens coming up, ladies and gentlemen? That is the major news that we saw from MrHartgrave's interview. He also discussed a lot more things like the concept art. We saw some of the lore of Cosmic Ghost Rider and one character that Matt Cheese wanted to come to the game but got denied by Marvel. And on to some sad news from CM Cerebro, the community manager that communicates with the community to the devs. And he has made the game a lot better over the years. He's done a lot for the community, a lot behind the scenes, and has really campaigned for the players to the devs. And I know the players get critical of him sometimes. I get critical of him sometimes, but it's been a huge net positive and net win for the community. But he leaves this note here. Greetings, Marvel Strike Force community. For nearly 5 years, I've had an extreme pleasure of serving as your representative, one of several with the development team. It is bittersweet to announce that I will soon be departing Scopely for a new adventure, and I hope he's on to bigger and better things. And yes, it's been a net positive what he's brought to Marvel Strike Force. I did not take this decision lightly. I love so many of the aspects of my job, including my talented coworkers, the awesome community of players, and a game that has been on a serious hot streak by consistently crafting high engaging experiences. And I gotta add, when more recently these experiences haven't been as engaging as they should have, they have been pretty quick to correct that as well as they can. I reflect on my time here, countless stories of thrilling wins and some rather difficult challenges. Through it all, one thing that have remained constant was the dev team, support of the community engagement team, including myself, CM Archangel, and influencer manager Lori. As I've said it before, I'll say this again, this team cares about the community, and showing that will only improve on it further. Especially proud of the long-running series Strike Time, for which we created 30 episodes. The show will likely go on hiatus for a time, but we were able to make one more episode with me hosting. We should go live next week. That is nice. I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you think is going to be in that episode of Strike Time. Thank you for playing Marvel Strike Force, enabling me to do what I love for a living. The number of people on this planet that get to do this is paltry, and I've never taken that for granted. We wouldn't be here about to celebrate the 6th anniversary without you, and I'm eternally grateful. The internal development roadmap has some incredible content planned that will keep things new and fresh for many years to come. The future is bright, so I'll retire from the field, come to join you from the stands and root for the amazing team of developers eager to see what is next. You rock, Cerebro, Senior Manager, Community Management. It has been a thrilling ride, Cerebro, through all the ups and downs. It has been awesome. Thank you for everything that you've done. Let me know your thoughts on Cerebro's decisions. I think the community is in good hands with the way that the devs are reacting to community, engaging with the players, especially with the players' voice movement formed. So I think the game is still in a good state. But yeah, this is a net loss for the community. And Cerebro, I hope you are into better, brighter things. Again, check out the video from MrHartgrave for the full dev interview. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend. If this video did give you some value, leave it a like. It is free for you and it tremendously helps out the channel. And if you want to check out what are the best characters to take to level 100 first, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hog fist bump, ValleyFlyin out!